It's really hot in my room. I can't put a fan on because if I do, it'll be loud for this. I'm just realizing that. All right. What's up, guys? It has been a long time. I know it's been about 2 months since the last time I posted, and I've had so many messages asking when I'm gonna post, why haven't I posted, what is going on, and I want you guys to know we are going back to the weekly posts. I'm gonna explain what happened in just one moment. Before I explain that, I want you guys to know next week we're gonna do a Q&A YouTube video. So I want you to comment. We're gonna have like stuff from Instagram, Twitter, and on here of questions. So comment down below of what you want to know. As well as today's video is we're gonna talk about how I started, where I started before making videos, and how I got to where I am. What else is it? So the reason why I haven't posted in the last couple months is kind of because when I started working on YouTube and I decided I was going to, was because I was talking to someone to edit my videos for me, and I would just record and have them edit. Because I work a lot on streaming, I work a lot on editing videos for TikTok, and a lot of other social media that it takes too much time for myself to edit. The first 2 weeks I was editing myself, and it took a lot of energy, a lot of time, and I'm not the best editor. It took me about 3 to 4 hours just to edit the video, after taking about an hour to 2 to figure out what I wanted to do and then record it. And it was just stressful and time consuming, and that is kind of why I stopped. I'm so tired. I've talked to a few people about editing videos for me, so hopefully we should have a good editor for these videos. For example, this video is not edited by myself, it is edited by someone else. Their link is in the description below, shouting out their YouTube channel. They actually make some music. If you hear some music in the background or see anything, you want to put a thing right there showing your channel, showing some of your songs, or a song, and check them out. Anyways, like I said, today we're going to be talking about where I started and how I came to be where I am now. So before I started doing anything online, like making any videos or streaming, I was actually going to college. It was about when I was 21 years old, and I was going to college for bioinformatics. Now, when I was in college, there's a few times that I made a couple YouTube videos, a little vlog-esque. They are now hidden from the internet, and no one can watch them because they are deleted. I'm sorry, but I did a few of those. They were fun. That's kind of how I learned how to edit, but it's very time-consuming and stressful. That's why I don't edit anymore. As well as when I was in college, I started streaming on a platform called Twitch. If you don't know what Twitch is, it's a live streaming platform where people mostly play games, but there's also art, just chatting, talking to your community. There's many different ways to stream on Twitch. I did that a few times, every now and then, very randomly, while I was still in college. Unfortunately, while I was in college, the start of a spring semester came up, and I was transferring from one college to another college, and that other college was about an hour and a half away from where I lived. I didn't have a job. I was going off of a lot of savings and college financial aid, and they messed up on a few paperwork, and it kind of came down to it's going to take a lot longer before I get the financial aid, before I can actually make money, or receive the money to continue going to college. And after I just gave a lot of money for books and spent all of that up front, I realized I can't physically afford the gas to make it to the college and back home. I ended up eventually getting my refund or college financial aid check. I had to decide on what I wanted to do. There's a lot of options that go about at that time. During this time, I was in a relationship with someone. I'm not gonna say their name, and we're gonna call them A. So I was dating girlfriend A, and I talked to them, I talked to family, and I was really debating on a lot of things. Now, I forgot to mention, I lived by myself in like a little apartment, and I didn't want to move apartments to go that far, because then I would have to do all the extra stuff, and I used the money that I had through savings, and this is why it became a big financial issue. So, kind of came down to, I'm gonna leave this semester, and I wasn't going to school, and I'd had to wait about 8 months until the fall semester, because the spring semester just started, and then there was a summer break, and then there's fall semester. Kind of came down to what should I do, whether if I should be get a job, move back with my family, get a job, or just move back with my family and just kind of relax. I was really going over a lot of that stuff, and I decided to move back in with my family and start streaming on Twitch, having fun. Worst came to worst, in 8 months I go back to college, and if it works out, it works out. And that's really kind of what I decided to do. During the beginning of that time, it was hell, it was horrible. When I moved back with my family, they didn't have a room at all, so I ended up sleeping on the couch. About 4 months I was sleeping on the couch, and within like the first month, my family had a really bad modem, so streaming was impossible to do. It just restarted over and over. So it took me about a month and a half before I got a new modem, before I could actually stream. So the first, we'll say 2 months of moving back with my family, I wasn't even able to work on making content at all. It was just very hard and very difficult to do because the internet just wouldn't work. So I had to use some of the savings I had to invest, which you should do, but it took about 2 months of convincing my family to allow me to change their home, because they're very stubborn. And right after I did that, the girl I was dating, girl A, broke up with me for someone else because, well, I decided to do this very drastic change. And after about 8 months of dating, that was a very frustrating thing for me. So the following 2 months after fixing my internet, we'll say 3, I was very stressed and upset. So my first 5 months of being a content creator was not being able to make content, and the first 3 months were really just trying to get over an ex-girlfriend of 8 months, and it did not go well. During those 3 months, I was streaming and I was trying, but it was very difficult. I was trying to talk to my ex-girlfriend a lot before I found out she started dating someone else. I tried my best to actually get us to work out, and I was about to actually quit streaming and working on content, which ironically, if we got back together, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I guess it's kind of a good thing we didn't. Well, I ended up getting a job, so I was working, and I got my car back on the road. Did a lot of things to try to get back with my ex, and we never got back together. And then around, like I said, for the first 3 months, it was getting over her. Let's just hear a bird. So for about the first 3 months after the breakup, it was very stressful, and it just wasn't the type of content I wanted to make. And it was just emotionally straining, and I was working because I got a job and just trying to do many different things, and I just wasn't sure what was going on. After about the 3 months, I ended up talking to a different ex-girlfriend who I've known for over a year. We'll call her girlfriend B. And we didn't really date super long, a couple of weeks, and realized we just couldn't work out because it was long distance. Girlfriend B lived in Arizona, and I live in New York. She was very nice and talked to me a lot during the breakup, and eventually we kind of just, after a few weeks, decided to start dating, and we started planning on seeing each other. And while that was going on, I was still streaming and I was also working. Kind of came down to, since we're long distance and I'm an adult, she's an adult, I will just move in with her. She was okay with that. It was kind of an equal agreement, but there was a few issues. She lived with her family, but they decided it was all right. So I ended up packing in like maybe 2 months after like us dating, so about 7 months in, I just moved from New York to Arizona, and I drove my car that I got back on the road for my ex-girlfriend, girlfriend A. Conveniently enough, I had a car and I had money for the job, which I ended up leaving because I was moving. But I packed my PC and all my stuff in my car, which, for those who don't know what my car was, it was a Mitsubishi convertible. Really bad time to burp. For those who don't know, I had a car. My car was a Mitsubishi convertible 2003. Photo right there. And it's a really small car that I decided to drive across the country in by myself. Now, to let you guys know, New York to Arizona is about a 49 or 50 hour trip. No breaks, not stopping, about 50 hours. So it took me about 3 days of driving by myself to get there. I don't have a lot of money at that time or anything, so I slept in my car for 3 days while trying to do IRL streams on Twitch using my cell phone. Eventually, I got there and we lived together in an RV because that's where their family decided to let us stay at their house because they didn't want us sharing a room, even though we're both 21-year-old adults. I think we're actually 22. Yeah, I was actually 22 years old. She was 22 years old because I was about like 7-8 months in at that moment. My birthday came up. We were both adults, but they didn't feel comfortable, which it's fine. It's their house. But they had an RV. They let us stay in the RV. So that's where we was in the RV outside their house. And I attached my computer and everything in that RV. And I started streaming for about 5 months while I was there. And in short, there's a lot of stress with her family and myself and financial situation. I was making some money, but nowhere near enough to really be living on my own. She was working as well as going to school, and her family was just not that supportive, which I understand. I'm not their child. I'm living there kind of rent-free. So I eventually just moved back to New York because they weren't happy. I can't really complain too much, but I felt like I wasn't treated or taken seriously. Not many people take content creators seriously as a job, and I understand some people shouldn't or wouldn't, but if you want to work on something, don't let other people drag you down. So like I said, I moved back to New York. Me and girlfriend B were still dating. We dated for a few more months. Obviously, when I came back to New York, I started streaming. I moved back to my family. They had a room for me, conveniently enough, but I started streaming, and the first month, just like the last one, first time I came in, I took the modem, so I had to re-put the old modem in. So the first month was kind of just bad because I couldn't really stream because they had their old modem. So it was kind of pointless. A bit of a step back. And then about 2018 came up because all this started originally in 2017. So all of 2017 was the beginning to the pretty much end of that was 2017. I moved out of state and moved back in 2017. I was gone for about 5 months in the first 5 months. So about the first 10 months I was going through some issues and moved out of state and came back. So after 2018 started, a couple months later, me and girlfriend B broke up. It was not fully mutual, but it was my decision. I decided that it was very stressful and too difficult to work on a long distance relationship and focus on what I wanted to keep doing, because at this moment I started loving streaming. I started loving making content. And I really wanted to continue working on it. So we broke up and I continued working and streaming, and it kind of got pretty successful. I was growing in the community that I was working in. I was pretty much doing just chatting streams and paladin streams. For those who do not know, just chatting is just hanging out, talking to your community, and paladins is a online first-person shooter MOBA battle, like not battle royale, but battlegrounds type game. It's developed by High Res. It's a free-to-play game, and that's really what I started playing a lot. So most of 2018, minusing the breakup, was me just working on streaming, playing paladins, and doing just chatting. Eventually, coming near the end of 2018, there was a moment that I decided to start talking to a few people in my community about editing YouTube videos on this channel, actually. And it was highlights of my stream. Unfortunately, that didn't work out that well. I had 2 editors. They ended up just not being able to make the videos for me. I asked both of them to make 1 video a week. They had 2 videos uploaded a week, and they both failed at it. Not that it was like bad that they did very bad videos, because their videos were actually amazing, but they were busy and they just didn't have the time, which is understandable. It just made it even more difficult on my YouTube channel, because I just don't have the time to edit my videos, kind of why we haven't posted in a few weeks, or a few months. So the YouTube channel kind of went up and died, pretty much. Hopefully we should be good now. Video out this week and next week, and hopefully continuing. But so there was a small little YouTube section while I was streaming. So September, October, November, I started hitting a lot of issues. September wasn't that good, October wasn't that good, and November was not that good. It was just a very upsetting feeling of working on something and then watching it just not do well. For example, YouTube, that was around the time the YouTube videos stopped coming. It just wasn't working. So around the end of November, I was feeling very stressed, very upset, and I was kind of debating on trying to go back to college the following semester. I was really just thinking about giving up, and at one moment I got sick. So the end of November, I got sick. I had a sore throat where I could not speak. And for what ended up happening was I didn't stream. So because streaming involves talking, and I couldn't talk, so I didn't. And I saw a lot of ads for this app called TikTok. Right there. Now, TikTok is a app similar to Vine or Musically. Used to be Musically, now it's TikTok. If you don't know what TikTok is, I suggest checking it out. It's just another platform. TikTok is just short 15-second videos. A lot of the time it's lip syncing with cosplays, lip syncing, dancing, original content. There's a lot of different things on TikTok. And I checked it out because I saw it advertised everywhere. And I decided I'm gonna download this app, and I did. I was sick, so I made about 2 videos at the end of November. November 28th and 29th. It was alright. And then I started getting my voice back, and I decided it was actually kind of fun just lip syncing and just doing a lot of videos for fun. And within the first week of December, I ended up growing very fast on TikTok, going from 1,000 to 2,000, and I ended up, after 1 week, I had maybe 6,000 followers. And for me, that was more than I had on Twitch. That was more than I had on YouTube or any other platform. And that was just in 1 week of starting. It was just insane. And I was talking about it on Twitch because I was still streaming on Twitch, and I was having a lot of issues on Twitch while I was seeing TikTok grow. I have a lot of loyal followers on Twitch. A lot of people who've stuck around for months, or like the whole story. There are some people who started from point A until then. I felt like I was giving up on them because I was kind of deciding to go to TikTok because I was noticing I was growing. And on TikTok, for those that don't know, you can also stream if you have a certain amount of followers. And pretty much what I was able to do on Twitch, to an extent, I could do on TikTok. And a lot of you guys know what TikTok is because most of my following now, are kind of watching this because of that. But I want to kind of give you the understanding of it. Like how like this frustrating moment of deciding like really loyal community and like a new community that's building so fast. It was just a hard choice because I started streaming a few times on TikTok and I was eventually getting more viewers, more like followers, and it was just so much positivity that it was overwhelming. Like the support that I was getting on TikTok compared to what I was like, my Twitch community was very supportive, like of wanting me to stream, but it just, how many more people there were on TikTok in comparison, it was just insane. And it was just, I eventually just changed over to TikTok. I waited till the end of December, and by the end of December I had 15,000 followers, and I started January, the beginning of 2019, with 15,000 followers, and I decided to do TikTok full time and see how well I can grow. At the end of the first month of 2019, I went to 45,000 followers. By the end of the second month, I went to 115,000 followers. So my third month, I was at 115,000. My fourth month, I hit 200,000. And right now we're in the process of 5 months and we're still at over 200,000 and growing, and it has been an amazing journey. And that's kind of where I am right now, and I appreciate all of you guys. It's like a fun story to talk about, but sometimes it's very stressful. But we are doing weekly videos again every single Saturday. Next Saturday we are doing a Q&A, so if there's something you want to know about myself or anything at all, please comment down below. I'm also asking questions on Instagram and Twitter, so click the description down below to check out my Twitter, to check out my Instagram. If you want to know more about my Twitch, I do streams every now and then. Those are also down below. I'll put TikTok if you're brand new from YouTube. Check it out. Please like this video, subscribe with notifications on if you have not, or if you're brand new. As well as one last thing, the person editing this video, their YouTube channel is down below. Please go check them out. They are being super supportive and very helpful by editing these videos, because without them, I wouldn't be able to continue making videos for you guys. But it has been awesome. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, drop a like on it, comment down below letting me know what you want to know, and subscribe.